All right. We are here with Veko, Death's Doorkeeper. This card, I believe, just came out today. I don't look into when releases happen, so I logged on and saw this. Oh, cool. What does it do? It's a 2-mana 1/3 in one of my favorite color combinations, black-white. It has Extort too, it's kind of neat. You sacrifice non-spirit creatures to return creatures from your graveyard to your hand, which sounds great. But what's really nice is you get to cast them as 1/1s for 1 mana. This is not like Kaya. This actually gets cast triggers, so you can, cast Ulamog. You can put Ulamog into your graveyard, and then if turn 3 Legion's Landing creature token, sack the token, pick up Ulamog, you have a turn 3 Ulamog. Probably never happen, but it can. Black-white does kind of struggle with discarding its own cards. It's not blue, it's not red, so it's a little rough, but it's possible. We have Collector's Vault, a card I've never seen before. I just searched up draw and discard up here, and I added the cards that do that. So we have the Great Door as well. Regisaur and the weird Regisaur Marauder, just discarding cards. Pack Rat, discards my own cards. Stuff like that, just to put this stuff in the graveyard. And I can even sacrifice this, which feels kind of weird, but you can sacrifice it, then just get your Ulamog. Stuff like that. I'm running a whole bunch of random stuff because it feels pretty fine to just sort of discard really anything and exploit it. The only downside to this is if I don't have enough things to actually sacrifice, that could be a problem. So hopefully that doesn't wind up being a consistent issue, but I don't know. We might need more early creatures to actually start sacrificing to. But well, for now we're gonna be ridiculously top heavy and see how that pans out. I think that's about it. Oh no, wait. There's another new card. There's a couple actually. I crafted this crocodile, which is basically a massacre worm, but the -2/-2 basically stays if the creature wouldn't have died. It doesn't spam lose 2 life, so it is different, but it also cycles. It actually discards itself, so this can like pick it up later or something. That's actually quite nice. There's also, what was the other new card? Cackling Observer, which is basically the black Vendilion Click. I had to think about it for a second. It's basically the black Vendilion Click, which is cool. Again, just another new alchemy card. I don't hate this. It's on theme of what we're trying to do. Same with Acquisitions Expert. There's like 5 different versions of this card you can run, right? It enters, makes your opponent discard, then you can sack it to this. So if I need more early creatures, I have plenty of options. As long as they're not spirits. You can't sacrifice spirits. Edgar is only in here because I love this card. My favorite black card, or black-white card, really. Top 3 at least. If I can find an excuse to put it in my deck, I'm going to do it. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Loop small things into big things that you have put into your graveyard at some point using certain cards. Same with this thing. I had to craft this land. I've never played the land before, but again, it's got the draw discard clause, so we're going to try it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see how we do. That I cannot spam. Alright, so Boromir is good here. As for Sentinel, knowing my luck will probably not do anything, but this is definitely a great matchup for it. But knowing my luck, it probably won't do much here, especially on the draw, where my opponent can just like play off curve slightly. It's not like I'm doing anything that scary in the meantime at all. I have like no way to discard or anything like that. Alright, let's see if we draw a card off our Esper Sentinel. Wow, I drew a card off my Esper Sentinel. Look at that. Alright. Guess we're ahead in that regard. But again, probably never, ever, 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 ever gonna get my commander to do anything this entire game. But we can still do black-white mid-range beatdown stuff. I think it is better to play normal lands and play cards instead of like looting right now with this loot land. Come in handy later. Alright. It's free to just sack it here. So I get the tempting here. It's not very valuable, but them losing 2 life is probably less important than getting like the first tempt of the ring. Probably. They don't have a land. Nice. Let's see here. Do I recast my commander? I think it's better to just commit things and play like this and this. And just swing. Because Giver of Runes means my commander might actually be able to do something this game. Opponent just top decked a land. Notably no red mana. Tasha. Alright, well, can no longer swing. Well, I can't swing with any 1/1s, which actually shuts down my spirits, which is really bad, but I mean, it is what it is. I can almost just cast Doom Whisperer. I suppose I will. Yeah, I think we're just going to straight up cast Doom Whisperer. And then pass. With Giver of Runes, I just don't die to Tasha this way, which is very important to me. Because otherwise, Tasha obviously literally kills me. Probably. I mean, it hits 3 creatures, right? Yeah, like it's just so likely to kill me. Alright, opponent found a answer to that. So I guess I will surveil some... I don't know much. Liliana of the Veil seems decent. Yeah, it's just another way to harass my opponent, I guess. Let's get rid of a land. I guess that one... I don't know how important the Mirrex is. I don't think I need it. Massacre Worm. Is that a good idea right now? My opponent loses a bunch of life. It's an even cost card, so it goes against the grain of what's the rest of my hand. Okay. At this point, we'd almost kind of skipped our commander's text, and we're just sort of like doing this instead. Don't let him planeswalk, yeah. There's no incentive. Oh, right, I can't loot on my turn because of Narset. I can't believe I noticed that. Thank goodness I did. Well, it's pretty easy here to just name even, and then Massacre Worm can hopefully end the Tasha. Not unlikely. The token they make gets exiled to their own extinction event as well, which is pretty nice. Bolus's Citadel. This is a very expensive... I mean, it's just Grixis dumbness. It's not... It really is not rocket science. Alright. Protection from black. Notably, I already drew this turn, so this won't draw. It will discard, and I don't think that's where I want to be. Oh, right, they name odds, so the token survives. That's right, that's how that works. So I can kill it with Liliana's minus? I guess I will. I really do not want my opponent to have that Tasha. Whereas everything else is kind of beatable, but Tasha's just stupid, so let's not lose to that dumb thing there. Alright, now we can play a land. I guess I play this. I don't see why not. This connives when something dies. This is actually the other mythic I had crafted for this deck. It'd be nice to have it trigger at least once. Just once, please. That's all I ask. Okay, my opponent fixed their colors and also got some mana. A bit more of an even playing field now. Brainstorm. Not too concerned about that one. Well, I mean, it probably finds a land or something. So Bolus's Citadel next turn might just win the game unless I do something really weird. I just don't know what that looks like. Yeah, I don't know. My commander doesn't have haste or anything. That's a really good card. It just has to, like, resolve, which I don't anticipate. Let's get rid of that. And I suppose I swing before I do anything. So, both here. See what happens. I don't really care about Narset's ability. I mean, I might in the future, but I currently do not, so... Yeah, lose a bunch of life. Let's see, do you have the counterspell? Opponent does. Of course they do. Wow. Whoop-de-doo. Fun and interesting. This isn't a Mana Rock, right? No. Alright, well, here comes what is probably Bolus's Citadel. Probably. Or apparently nothing? What? What are you doing? Meat hook for 4. Alright. Ooh, I kind of like that. I think we don't need the Gravebreaker anymore. Does the Connive trigger still happen? Oh, it does. Okay. I guess I have to get rid of... Oh, jeez. I really don't want to get rid of one of these, but I probably have to keep the... Get lost so I don't instantly lose. Shieldred was a good draw. Let's kill Narset here while I can. Let's play this. And seeing how my hand is going to be empty, I might as well just do this. Alright, so Nicol Bolas is a huge problem. That I now don't have an answer to. A Connive trigger that I preferably didn't want. Sounds like someone who wanted to be Veto. Yeah, it's a cool commander. I like it. Hopefully this means I get to kill the Ashiok with the Mutavault. It looks like I do. We also drew quite a nice card. It does mean I'm not plussing Liliana, which is really ugly, but you know what? That's just the nature of things. It feels completely ridiculous to me to not plus this. I have to not plus it. Because obviously Land Nicol Bolas needs to be answered. Yep. What are we doing with our Nicol Bolas is the question. Target opponent exiles cards at top, non-land, blah blah blah, sure. They got a final parting, alright, so opponent gets the best card in their deck, basically. Which, all things considered, was actually pretty lucky for me, because it could have been one of 50 really good creatures in my deck. Although, that's maybe not that relevant, because I can just Liliana them away. My opponent is actually kind of low, and our commander does have Extort. We can swing for 3, and then Extort for 1. I guess I'll leave up the Extort for my next turn, so I can actually, like, have the mana for it and whatnot. Okay, again, I like my whole hand, which makes this awkward. So I can fire up that, and then I can get a Gravebreaker in play? Or I guess a Broodmoth? I feel like I just have to do that. I feel like that is above and beyond the best thing I can... Oh no! Mutavault's a creature! Mutavault's a spirit! Mutavault's a spirit! Mutavault's a spirit! Oh, Mutavault's a spirit. Mutavault's a spirit. Oh my goodness. Mutavault's a spirit. Mutavault's a spirit, dude. Oh no. Mutavault's a spirit. Oh no. Wait, what? I tapped the Mutavault because I wanted to sacrifice it to my Veko, so I tapped it to activate itself. Man, it's a spirit. Okay, I'm confused as to why I didn't instantly lose after my opponent cast Final Parting. My opponent, I guess, got Time Warp, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but sure. Okay, opponent loses 0 life, such is tradition. That was an impressively good draw. Let's play that, shall we? Alright, we won. Yep. My opponent can just Gristlebrand it, right? But I do draw what is probably going to be 7 or 14, and it's going to be extremely difficult for my opponent to do anything from here. I mean, from now on. Not just that game, obviously, but from now on. We are past the point of trying to beat Pock. Oh, well. We are way past the point of trying to beat most decks, I think. Alright, I don't think this is an Esper Sentinel game, but still nice to have a 1-drop, I guess. It also probably isn't a deck that's going to consistently kill my commander. I just need it to get chugging along. What I need is a way to discard, so I need a black land. I found it. Guess I'll cast this. Take a look-ski-poo here. Things are coming together nicely this game. My opponent's running Elishnorn. I guess I don't want that to be a thing at some point in this game. And then when this goes away, they seek a card. So they won't get this back. They'll just seek something else. Is how this card works. I do anticipate that being relevant. Destroy all creatures of power 3 or greater. Fortunately, we don't care about that. Okay, Shieldred is also somewhat useful here. Maybe it's better than just doing this, but also maybe not. Alright, so we get Ulamog next turn, and there's almost nothing they can do to stop that. But there are some things, but it doesn't look like they have it. So I guess we just win this game. Well, assuming my opponent gives up, which I would assume is actually pretty likely, so. I believe I can safely extort, so I will. Whoa, 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 whoa. I tried to tap my land for extort. Almost exiled my own land. That would have been really funny. Okay. Alright, we even get some extort triggers. That's pretty nice. What is the ultimate of this? I don't even, at the beginning of your combat, creature graveyard. Alright, just more of my commander, but skipping all the extra steps. Alright, my opponent didn't immediately concede. I know Ulamog is a 1-1, but it does kill you in like 3 turns or whatever. It's got lifelink, makes sense to attack anyways. Alright, yeah, opponent conceded. Ulamog just swinging 3 times, or however many times, is it 4 times? Yeah, 4 times, and my opponent's whole deck is gone. This isn't doing anything, and this can wind up getting something pretty useful here. I don't know what it would get. They actually have a card draw engine here too, going pretty nicely, but yeah, I don't know what this could get. Like, I don't know if there's a Fiend Hunter that they could be running that just basically exile Ulamog until I deal with it, but it's not, because Skyclave Apparition doesn't. The mana cost is still 10. That's what I was thinking about, but they don't. I don't think they had enough mana anyway. Oh no, they didn't even have double green. They did not have double green. Reliquary Tower is a strange one to see in this deck. I don't know how often Samwise fills his hand up all the way. Seems very unlikely. I mean, they did have this, but even still, you're kind of just like tapping out and drawing and casting everything you play. So interesting. Cool, we did the thing. We did the thing. We got Ulamog. We did the thing. Was it better than ramping into Ulamog? Probably not, but I mean, I did it, so I'll take it. Yeah, this commander's not good. It's actually just, yeah, it's not good. Black-white just struggles to get things in graveyards consistently. I think that's the primary issue here. I just cannot consistently put things in my graveyard. That is quite significant. Alright, well, we keep this completely on the back of Swords to Plowshares. Of course, our opponent's on the play again. Such is tradition when I play against Malcolm. I think the past 6 or 7 times. I've only been on the play once in the past 6 or 7 times against this thing. Alright, well, at least we hit it. Okay, what do I care the least about? You? I don't care about this. That, hardly relevant. Opponent probably doesn't care either. It's not really doing much, right? It does loot into more useful cards as the game progresses, so it's not completely useless. But it's not the best thing here. Let's get rid of the 6-drop. I'll never hardcast. Actually, as it stands, I really did need this if I aim to, like, actually draw lands and stuff, apparently. Ay. Okay. Let's play Informant. Oh my goodness. I just drew 8, 8, 7. That's insane. That's insane. I just drew, like, basically the worst cards. I mean, I guess I didn't draw Ulamog, but... Alright, well, we basically just lose from this point because Malcolm is dumber than Baral's ever was. And we're also just simply not drawing lands, so quite literally nothing I do matters anyways. Why would it? Yep. Wasting my time. Excellent. Very fun. Yep, just a boatload of really good payoffs and no way to get my commander in play there. I mean, I can cast it, but it's not going to resolve. And even if it does, they have a bunch of bounce spells as well, which means I can't... It doesn't have haste or anything. Yep, just whatever. Stupid Malcolm being stupid. Nothing new there. Should probably just concede when I see that stupid commander as well. Oh man, this is misery. I have no good matchups, I don't think. Except maybe like really bad decks that don't do much. Alright, so we loot away... I probably Elish Norn because this is Urion. But it could also not be the creature kind of Urion. It does not look like it's a creature Urion deck, so maybe Avacyn makes more sense here. Gristlebrand's also pretty nice. Alright, well, I drew a draw discard land anyways, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Is this mono white? What is going on? Okay. They have to answer my commander immediately. So, sweeper or something. Glasket. I guess that does do it. I have no answer to Glasket. And then Yorion will exploit that later. I'm running out of time here, though. They missed a land drop. Maybe I can actually get it going. Missing lands is pretty useful for me here in this instance. Especially if they are also actually blue and not just mono-white. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't do it. Oh, yes, it does. 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 All right, temporary lockdown. Enters the battlefield until it leaves battlefield. I have no answer to that card, so I guess I have to do this. Alright, at this point, I guess I'm just gonna start plus spamming this card. Again, I have a bunch of stuff I'm willing to get rid of, so works out. I imagine my opponent does as well, as they are quite mana screwed. They are actually blue, and they did actually have Wash Away, which would have been another issue for us. It's kind of funny. I suppose I'll play Platoon Dispenser, having never actually played this card in my life. Pretty cool. Opponent has to read it as well. Don't worry, opponent. It is not mythic quality, even though it is actually a mythic. I'm actually going to get rid of Breach here and attack my opponent's last card with the Observer. I think that's just more value in the long run. So if they cast their commander here, I was doing this. Alright, nice. They didn't give themselves the out. They actually could have drawn a land. So this commander was probably really bad. I know I can play Lauren's Escape and all the protection spells to keep my 2-mana 1/3 alive to actually do anything, right? You can even run Mox Amber. I was not running Mox Amber. 2-mana commanders love Mox Amber. And then with Mox Amber, keep up protection spells, Mana Tithe, whatever, right? You can definitely do all that jazz. But I really wanted to go all in on just consistently doing the thing. The thing we're doing wasn't really all that good most of the time, and I didn't get too many exciting plays. Like, yeah, getting a 1-minute Ulamog that has an actual cast trigger is awesome. Same with Cityscape Leveler. Gristlebrand is actually a 1/1, so it's a little weird, but you still get to draw like 7 or 14 cards anyways, well, sometimes. You might just be dead. Elish Norn is also a good one. Sometimes. There were plenty of games where this was completely useless as like something to get in play really fast. This is just a cool value annoying thing to deal with. I just kind of like this card in general and might as well. It's been a while since I've seen it in play. But yeah, just getting the strategy going wasn't all that difficult, especially when I added like the learn cards next to the connive. It was actually pretty easy to get going. The curve is actually really smooth. Look at that curve. Look at that. It's been a while since I've seen a deck that looks like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess, but it's a little clunky, right? Any graveyards hate you lose instantly, right? There's no coming out of that other than hopefully I get to hard cast my big things in 10 turns, but you're usually not going to get to that point. A lot of the mid-range stuff was somewhat situational. Like some games, Elish Norn actually doesn't do anything against your opponent, right? And sometimes, like I said, yeah, Elish Norn doesn't do anything. Shieldred's usually good. Avacyn is usually good. The problem with Avacyn is it's a 1/1, right? It's not actually really killing your opponent, but it does deny your opponent's ability to answer your stuff. So even if they are a bunch of 1/1s, it can be quite useful to just have this sitting there as a 1/1. But with that being said, it can still get counterspelled. It can still get removed with a bounce spell, an exile effect, pacified or reprobation, lose all ability cards in blue and stuff. Like, there's a lot of ways to just circumvent that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's just a little rough. I also got a little color screwed more than I thought I would, even with even more like colored mana than there usually is, like than there's ever been. I felt a little color screwed, which is unfortunate. This is black white on 2, so you really want both black and white very quickly. So maybe you want some fetch lands like the tapped Terramorphic Expanse Evolving Wild style cards for turn 1, and then an untapped land turn 2 to just like get this in play more often. But sometimes you don't play this turn 2, you just play something else that loots or starts creating tokens in the first place, or whatever, what have you. So that's not necessarily true. You could probably run a little bit more removal, but again, I was really just trying to get this to work. I was just trying to care about the text box, not really the context of everything that goes alongside of it, like buying time to get to it, i.e. removing your opponent's nonsense. So it was a little clunky in that regard. But it was kind of consistent if you jam all of the stuff that care about draw discarding in black and white that you have access to, and just getting it going. But again, the payoff wasn't really that great because you're not killing your opponent with large stats. You're killing them with the text boxes because they're all essentially 1/1s. So you better hope those text boxes are really, really good. And outside of Ulamog and sometimes Gristlebrand, that's not really the case. Even a Wormcoil Engine as a 1/1, your opponent could just like let that sit in play and just ignore it. Or you just keep swinging with it and they're not blocking it because then they don't want it to, crack in half. So it is a little weird, and you can't sacrifice something that you have already made into a spirit because it says non-spirit, so you can't loop 2 creatures, which kind of makes sense. That would probably make this really, really degenerate. But as it was, yeah, I don't like this. I mean, it's cool to see new commanders, and it was nice playing one on day 1, but of the new ones that just came out today, I think this is the only one I've played. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't recommend this. If you like this strategy, I think Rezug, is that how you pronounce it? Rezu boy, is just like better. It is mono black though, but Rezug might be better. Kaya, even though I said Kaya is worse than this, Kaya might just be better because Kaya's at least forced to play an honest game in the meantime because it doesn't cost 2 mana and can immediately threaten to do whatever. Kaya's kind of forced to play more of a black-white traditional control-y thing, whereas this, excuse me, might be more busy trying to go all in on, again, its text box. The extort is cool. I like extort. It doesn't really ever matter. Like, you're not, it's cool to poke your opponent with 1/1s and extort them the rest of the way, but, a lot of the time you're just sort of spending all of your mana every turn, and stealing 1 life here or there is not really that great 1v1. This is much better in multiplayer, but obviously it's not. You can't do that in Magic Arena, so kind of unfortunate, a little underwhelming. But it did bring new cards to my radar that seem pretty cool. I actually kind of really like this card. Never played it before. I don't think I've seen anyone else play it, but I actually kind of like this card. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. If you have ideas for this commander, let me know. It performed terribly, so I don't recommend it. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.